Yeah, I understand. Thank you.
Very welcome.
Um, yep, I guess that's all I have at the moment.
Very well. Much strength and joy to Miriam.
Much strength and honor to you, Kala. Thank you.
Greetings, KALASK. This is Lisa.
Greetings, Lisa.
Yes, it's good to speak with you here again. I enjoyed everything that you were talking about. Again, I usually do anyways, but everything that was brought up, I'm going through myself, and so it made a lot of sense. And I appreciate the way that you are able to describe it. So, anyways, thank you.
Yes, you're very welcome. As we said earlier, with the Miriam person, everything is a co-creation, also the grouping. So it's no surprising you're all more or less able to relate to content you're sharing in response to a question of a particular person.
Yes. Yes. Did you say that satellites are drones?
Well, they can be used as such. Obviously, a satellite is still a very general concept. Obviously, there are also natural satellites. But of course, if you put an artificial satellite somewhere, then indeed it can be used as a drone.
Yeah, because I guess satellite is, that kind of means something that goes around
something in the orbit, from what we are aware. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So those things that are up
technically
there.
Your moon is also a satellite. Just saying.
Right. Okay. All right. So that's fine. Okay. Cool. I was wondering, like, if I die now, do I have me on other timelines still going?
Well, you can't really die, you're aware, right? Your body
Yes.
might die, but you don't. Of course, so you're always there. It's not a metaphor. It's not, well, it's okay, you're not really dead, you're a member or whatever the fuck. You literally don't die. This is not the way that your atheist community perceives to be, right?
Yes.
Well, it's not so much like your ritual sex thing either, but it's literally all your body dies. So of course you're still existing, you will always exist, and if you're asking if there are still other consciousnesses or parts of your consciousness that are still incarnated in a physical form, while you currently, in your own current experience, are leaving your physical form, well, parts of your higher self are incarnated somewhere else, yes. And you could become that from your linear perspective. You could then incarnate somewhere else, in other words, for example. You could perhaps become, well, of all things, a reptile or a kitty cat or whatever the fuck, right? Then you are becoming them, but from a point beyond time, you already are that. And the more you align with something, the more you create a likelihood that that will be what happens. So from your individual perspective, I reincarnate, right? But from our perspective, it will be that other version already exists, and just you identify further with it after, in a timeline, your physical body no longer exists.
Yes. Okay.
You don't really have to fully understand it from your current vantage point. You will once it happens.
Yes, it's like when, looking back, I can see things that changed or growth or whatever, but not during that time. I didn't. It's usually when I'm looking at it, I guess. But I already transitioned and I didn't even know.
Basically, yes, you already transitioned and you were not yet born.
Yes. Yeah. Someone had brought up, I was wondering, can channeling be good for your health?
Well, it depends greatly what you're channeling. For what you're aware of, the Merkle entities, for example, have a very bad effect on the vessel's health. For what you're aware, we also have agreement with the vessel, and we only bring those entities for the vessel if there's been made a prior agreement for such. And we're also aware the vessel is considering certain financial compensation for such particular strains on top of whatever else, for example, entities such as us or other coming through. And obviously, we are very well grounding on whoever connects with us. So, for example, you could consider being beneficial for health, or if you connect too much to our frequency, or if you're channeling us or communicating directly, it might have a bad effect on your heart, because your heart will close down very likely during the process. It kind of depends how much you're able to channel, if you wish, putting out a frequency, and how much you can calibrate that. Of course, other entities such as the killing cats are burst easier on the heart and have other benefits or advantages or whatever the fuck we're aware of. Obviously, you consider our frequency superior because we're more crowned and much more powerful than anything we're aware of, or at least the idea of being interrelatable, not this power of molecule that's just destroying everything and no longer constructs anything out of the destruction. However, our entities might not function something else, but again, creating depends who it is you're bringing through. This is not just a game, it's the idea of you doing this properly, for what we're aware of, working with the vessel, right? It has a strong effect on, indeed, your identity, your being, your health, physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever the fuck, right? And also emotionally, obviously, in our case, that can be a detriment. Perhaps, depends, right? Depends who and what you're talking about. However, in your species, likely. But again, there's their benefits. If you wish, you can consider selling your soul to the devil. And there are your benefits for a disadvantage somewhere else. So it greatly depends who you're channeling and what you're doing with it. But it definitely has an effect, both positive and negative, for what we're aware.
Yes. I mean, that is with everything that I'm doing here anyways. So, yeah. Okay. I had a dream of a female reptilian, I believe brownish outer part. And she was a lot taller than me because she had her hand down to me, but her fists were closed. It was closed, I think, so I wouldn't cut myself or something. But I just, what I was remembering is I was gnawing on her hand, like I was biting on it, and then all of a sudden I realized what I was doing, and I was like, oh my gosh, it was just a love bite. It was just a love bite. I was just kind of wondering, like, who I was talking with. I mean, is there something that you can see in that?
Yes, obviously, you can connect to the entity, but from your current vantage point, much darker in frequency, if you wish. From us, quite normal and relatable to some degree, right? Obviously, something like a potential mother figure, referring to a previous idea of a potential incarnation of yours, right?
Yeah.
So you could say it's your future incarnation if you wish, if you want to remain in such a linear time frame. You could also say it's a parallel or a passer or just a potential. But it's an entity you connected to, and obviously it doesn't like the word. She does not like the word potential. So for her, it's real, right? So for her, it's happening. So for you, for example, since you're co-creating this frequency, there's much of an alignment. And obviously gets stronger as we're talking.
Yes. So me biting on her hand, that was a good thing, right? That was
Yes, it was not perceived as hostile, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, right. Because it kind of reminded me, like I do with a baby or children. You have them, they play with your hands, or they might bite on them, or and so that's what it reminded me of.
She is very pleased with the interaction. Yes.
Great. Wow. She was very beautiful.
Yes. Indeed, she looks certainly nice on the eye. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Is she from a specific group or anything like that?
You can refer to her as KLAKKUL.
KLAKKUL. Great. Okay. Thank you.
That's something for you to dial in the frequency.
Yes. Perfect. That's good. I'm glad that I talked about that. That feels good.
She is too.
Great. Okay. Well, I liked everything that you spoke about before, and so we'll go ahead and leave it here for now. And thank you for the interaction again. I appreciate you very much, and strength and honor to you, KALASK.
Strength and honor to Lisa, and of course also from KLAKKUL.
Thank you. Perfect.
Unless we had any other questions for KALASK, I think this was the end of the queue.
Yes, very well. Also, the end, he has a great desire to direct as well directly, but we can then save that for another direction and connect to the kitty cats.
Oh, that'll be great.